Hello, good evening. Another day, another show. My name's Chris Hughes. I'm from Rebound Basketball Blog for people new to tuning in. so, Today I'm coming with you for another show. Let's just recap from the last week. On Saturday we had a great show with referee and former board director of Basketball England, John Letitia. You can check that out and other Upstreamedia videos below. And also give this channel a like and subscribe, as they do tremendous work promoting British basketball. Rupert Charles has had many guests on recently, many shows on. Mine being just one of the many shows you can watch right here. You have Jack Gibbs, who's given us all the talk about British wheelchair basketball, and it's been a very insightful show. And I'm sure Rupert's got more guest shows in the pipeline. So watch the space as a part of the big team. We provide some basketball content to keep you guys going. Let's say it's not much basketball happening on the court, but off the court there's plenty to chat about and reflect from the last 12 months. So as I say, I've been having basketball related guests on most of the time, with a few shows like this one today, sort of just recap and summarise some important stats and topics that are relevant to basketball and the NBL. As I say, are Rebound, and we primarily look at the NBL, but we also cover many British basketball topics. So at the moment, what's going on with Rebound? So as it's the end of the season, we do our normal end of season awards and leaderboards. Basketball England NBL site has a concise stat page which aided us with our stats and leaderboards, but the leaderboards only look at the players' averages per game, and I thought it quite just looking a bit deeper, delving into it. Just there are some players who perform well, but maybe not played as many games or didn't play well in certain games, and their stats just reflect how well they've done. So I did a poll recently, and one of the suggestions from the poll was to do a point per minute. So I'll talk about that later on. But at the moment, what we're doing, which is happening live as we speak, is our Rebound People's Choice Award. So I was really keen to see who people thought was their best player of the year. Last year we did it, and the winner was Reading Rockets AJ Carr. For listeners who are not sure what happened, AJ Carr returned again with Reading Rockets, had a great season, but was shortened by injury, and we wish him all the best in his rehab. So how does People's Choice Award work? So it's 50% about a subjective vote from you guys picking your choice, along with a stat which is called efficiency per minute per game. So it's looking at how efficient a player is per the minute they played. The idea is we do a fun little knockout tournament starting with a group stage of 8 groups of 4 men. Then the top 2 go into a further group stage of 4. And now where we're at today is the quarterfinals, which I've just started live. You can find out all our social channels on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll post links at the end. And the idea is that people can pick their player, and it's sort of friendly competition. And also, as it keeps going on, maybe people are not aware of that player can say, "Oh, okay, lots of people like this player. Let's go check him out." And then at the end of it, we'll do a feature with the 32-man shortlist. So at the end of the vote, I'll calculate all the votes that player's had throughout the process, and the player throughout the whole process with the most votes will be the winner. Likelihood is that person will be in the final, so they had more opportunities for you to vote for them. But that only makes up 50% of the leaderboard as such. So depending on how they place in that vote, they'll get points from 32 for being the best, or 1 if they came near the bottom. And it's 32-man shortlist. At the end of the day, it's hoping it'd be a leaderboard that's relatively subjective, but also relatively backed up the stats. So at the moment, we've got some great quarterfinals with quite a lot of Rome Thunder and Hebel Storm interest. So it'd be really interesting to see what you guys think. Who was your pick for this season? With lots of top players to pick from. So it's great. And also at this point, I'd love to say a little shout out to Dave Owen, whose stats would be invaluable to our work and have made a big part of how we've shortlisted players. And also the Barcelona England stats page has helped immensely as well. And I say the leaderboards on both Dave Owen and on the Barcelona England site are great reference points. So you go check out how your favourite players done this season. Also, this time of season, go check out your favourite players' highlight videos. I'm sure in the next few weeks we'll see a lot more highlight videos, and we'll promote them on our page when and if we see them. So, next part of this. So, I was looking for stuff to do, and I love looking at stats. I feel when you look at stats, and I think maybe it's because I've got an English literature background, I look at it all, looking for meaning from it. So I look at on the NBL stat page, most stats are per game, and then you're thinking, okay, that's great because that is quite a reliable point to go from to ascertain who played the best of the whole season. But you also got to set the Barcelon's team game. So just because you got one player who's averaging 29 points a game, why is he averaging 29 points a game? Is he playing all the 40 minutes of that game? Is he their main outlet? So it's really hard to get a definitive leaderboard. And one way someone gave me the idea was to look at the minutes. So to look at leaderboard, they thought, oh gosh, X player's averaging 30 points a game, and that's amazing. And it is amazing, no matter if he's played 40 minutes or he's played 20. But I kind of thought, well, if someone's only played 20 minutes or 15 minutes on average a game, it's really hard for them to be at the higher end of the leaderboard. So I basically went through the NBL stats on my Excel spreadsheet, put down everyone's minutes, average minutes, total minutes, games, points, rebounds, and I'll bring you down the 5 main key stat areas. But you'll see on Barcelona England site, obviously they've changed it recently, haven't they? They've now got leaderboards for 3-point shooting, but I'll just look at the points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. So when I look at the points per minutes, that actually looked very similar to the Leeds final leaderboard. In the points per minutes, we had TJ Henderson, who was the leader on the main average points per game, and he was tied actually Mike Williams Jr. So Mike Williams Jr. didn't come as high in the average points per game, but if you look down at his stats, his minutes, you'd see why he had played less minutes. He also played less games, so which he might have missed 1 or 2 games that are easier opposition to get bigger points. So the fact that he came a bit higher shows actually he had a lot of impact in the time he was on. So him and TJ were tied, but after that we had 3 players very closely following him in second place, with Travis Charles, Hafiz Abdul, and Elliot Sentence all very close. And all 3 of those players have reasons why they score higher in this than they did in the actual average points per game. So, and let's look at the 2 second players, so Travis Charles, Elliot Sentence. Travis Charles fit and played every game, but also he was part of a very strong unit. So he also got, with the game over, so some games he was subbed off a bit earlier compared to maybe other teams who were still fighting for points. Also, there was a lot of rotation in the Solent unit, and a lot of the bench got a lot of minutes compared to maybe top 3 or 4 teams around them. Then we've got Elliot Sentence, who unfortunately got injured. So he started with starting back position, but he was on the bench a bit, and then maybe he's having a bit of protected minutes, as they call it in the NBA, just getting back into full fitness. There's lots of reasons why maybe actually points per game wasn't so hard, but actually points per minute he was much more productive. And also sandwiched in between them, but also tied, was Hafiz Abdul, who started the season of Essex and then went off to greener pastures. So again, players haven't played many minutes to get into the zone, get a bit of momentum, and also players who are injured or bench players. All the stats I did from this per minute they were elevated a bit more. But on the whole, most players who did well in the leaderboards did well in per minutes. Right, so say points per minute and average points per game typically didn't show much difference. But with rebounds, we had the leader, Bernard Heveroy, who potentially Cavaliers fans will know, came top, and he's not in the top 10 leaderboard, mainly because his minutes may start off the bench. He had a few starts, but again, that's the reason why he's come up quite top. We had Hughes, Hakeem Sia, who everyone knows was the lead rebounder for the NBL, and Leon Francis and Ricky Fetchy. So Leon Francis, another player who didn't make the points rebounds per game average leaderboard from the NBL, but he joined late, didn't get many minutes start, but got more minutes as he went on. It was a key figure for them. They moved to assists, and one player had an amazing season, Charlie Brown. He made waves in his last season in the Academy Leagues of Derby, and him and Alex Robinson tied. One player that shouts out to me as a surprise to be in there, not necessarily because of ability, but actually because of the amount of games played and minutes, was Luke Simbro. So Luke plays St. Testral's, started the season on the bench, but as season went on, he got more starts, and this coincided, unfortunately, with the injury to Elliot Sentence. And then difficult decision, Coach Diamond Hand tells us who did minutes to, with Elliot being one of the most productive players, and also Luke, who's come from bench and made that position his own. So for Luke to make that leaderboard sort of second behind two players is amazing, because he didn't get many minutes compared to his peers, and also about starts, and didn't play any games due to injury. So actually, that's one of the players who would have benefited from looking at the stats per minute and per game. Ian Smith, Bodie Luola, both made leaderboards. So again, it shows that the leaderboard, if you look at per minutes, doesn't necessarily negate the players' work, because obviously they've got their merit already of their performance per game. But actually, if we look at stuff per minute, sometimes it can be a better way of looking at things. But I love stats and look at stats, so it's always just to creatively think about why is that player doing well on the stat. So I don't always take stats as I always take stats a bit pinch of salt. We do steals. Again, steals look pretty much similar to how they were over per game. But one interesting thing, and it's great, was that Tom Yone, a bench player from Lefford, made it, and it's great to see that a stat promoted player, but wasn't necessarily promoting a different stat. I think he was the only one from the top five. So top five was Trey Milford, Saya Taylor, both were in the leads for average stats a game, average steals a game, sorry. And then we had Jack Hudson, so he's another player who didn't make average leaderboard, but again, he didn't play many games, so he left Liverpool off greener pastures. So that's great, and that's kind of why I want to look at leaderboards, because I think the more different leaders you look at, it promotes players and promotes the teams in them. And it's great, if you got a chance to have a look at stuff and think, oh, hey, my player's done this far this season, or he's one of the best in the league. So it's always quite good. So, thanks for listening. Probably not the most juiciest content as last year episode. We had a great last year episode. So last week I had Chuck Duru, Taylor Johnson, and the referee, John Letitia, all great guests. It was great shows. There's more as well. So if you haven't watched already, give them a follow. It's really insightful discussion. So this week, I'll try and keep to regular slots. I'll try to always have someone either have a show a week where it's just me talking about what I'm up to, what the rebound, to give you the best idea for news and coverage out there. We've also tomorrow got a coach on the show. We've got Team St. Testral's ladies D1 coach, CJ Lee. The Testral's ladies have been doing well this season, and they have now got back-to-back top four finishes over the last two seasons. So we're going to be talking about the ladies' game and maybe how the NBL's impacted this season. With having NBL Live, it's great having men's and ladies' games shown on YouTube for people to watch and to get an idea. But there's quality in both leagues, so it's great. And we'll also be looking at Um, so there's quite a lot of discussion at the moment. How do we keep the best players in England, or even make sure the best players get the best opportunities? So we're looking at how programs like Solent with the university are beneficial for youngsters to give them another option other than the well-traded US scholarship route. And then on Thursday, I've got Coach Greg of Lancashire Spinners, so it'd be great to talk about Lancashire Spinners, who are a D1 side and they've been playing D3 B-ball this season, so it'd be great to sort of catch up and talk about that more. Sorry. Even though I say we probably look at D1 basketball, it's always great to talk about the other leagues and grassroots, because as much as we love to watch the biggest leagues of basketball, there wouldn't be anything without the grassroots and the teams below. So that's really great to talk about Lancashire Spinners. I'm hoping to get another guest on Friday. That would be, I'll announce that in the next few days if that comes apart. And on Saturday, we've got a great guest, got one of the best US imports in the league from this season, Hemel Storm's Mike Williams Jr. So that'd be a great show, and I'm sure Hemel Storm fans love to hear from their guy, especially if this season's cut short. So that's everything from me today. But of course, as I say, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. On Twitter, we're at rebound__, and on Facebook and Instagram, it's at reboundnbl. And if you like the discussion today and the status of your thing, I'll post a much more in-depth post on our WordPress website, which we always promote on our social media channels for you guys to find the latest stories and stuff that we're up to promoting the league. And to say, if any coaches or players want a copy of the lead abroad I've done, obviously feel free to contact me on any of those social media channels, and I'll get that sorted for you. Also, if you enjoyed the videos done by Rupert Charles and friends with Upstreamedia, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I've seen people have it's channel's got a few more subscriptions the last few days and steady flow of viewers. That's great, but they can provide a platform for you guys to watch and listen to basketball content. I think that's everything from me. I say looking forward to having CJ on Tuesday to talk the ladies basketball. I think that's definitely a part of our game, but needs a lot more TLC, because it's great. I say many people know I'm a casual fan as well as a neutral media outlet, but I must admit I've enjoyed watching the ladies play. A sense of team, and it's quality as well. It's great, they can shoot, the girls, they're great 3-point shooters, and that hustling, and it's just great energy. And, in terms of entertainment value, there's not much difference to watching the men's and ladies. And sometimes I enjoy the ladies game more than the men's, but I also feel that both games need equal promoting. And it's great because recently I've seen the NBL definitely understood that, and they've done their girls project, say All Girls Matter, I think it is. That's a great project. Also, there's been more stats and more footage from them. So again, it's all going in the right direction, and hopefully next few years, the seasons, there'll be just as much interest in our ladies teams as the men's. So it's definitely deserve it. But obviously, I said no show Wednesday, but on Thursday I'm with Coach Greg of Lancashire Spinners, so that'd be a great show to talk about all things British basketball, but also talk about Lancashire Spinners, give a bit of perspective what's going on in the north of England, as they've got lots of great programs up there, and there'll be one team to watch in the next few years as they try to get back to that D1 spot. And then on Friday, I said just to be confirmed, we're hoping to be another D1 player. As I said, we've had a few players on now. We sort of reflect on their season, but do a light-hearted quiz on how well do you know your club. So we'll test for knowledge. But one player who will be going through those hurdles will be Mike Williams Jr., who I'm looking forward to having a show on Saturday. And it'd be great to talk all things Hemel and see how he's getting on since going back home to America. And I say thank you for listening. My name is Chris. It's been great having you on, and have a lovely week. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.